Chapter 2. Learning to let go of the past. When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life. John Lennon. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Oscar Wilde. Is it cliche to say time heals all? It does, though. No matter what it does, if you let go of burdens, give your shoulders a chance to breathe, things will work out, and it is okay not to carry heavy baggage. I lost my father at a very young age. I was 7 years old, just a few weeks shy of turning 8, and just before Christmas and also my birthday. I'm a Christmas baby, and I had my world tragically end at that very moment he passed away. I realize now that every single experience and decision I made thereafter had come from that moment. I held my breath, and I didn't want to let it back out. I remember my father, Mate, being a good man, a hard-working man who loved us. He was 36 when he passed on. 36 is young, very young, but being a little girl, I had no concept of young and old. It took a long time for me to stop carrying that burden, to stop blaming anyone for him not being here, and to let go that my childhood was left at a standstill. 2 decades. The ghost of the past will likely haunt you until you realize that it starts to affect your everyday and your future. I would dwell on all the things I missed out on with him. I always thought about it, maybe in the hopes that it might bring him back somehow or keep his memory alive, because I didn't want to forget. I felt sorry for myself and was completely lost. It is like you cannot breathe anymore when a parent, who is part of your lifeline, someone who is supposed to be on the other side of your love, is gone. There isn't anything tangible to catch your thoughts, your needs, and your love growing up. It is literally cutting off a limb. Perhaps this is why my love for my son goes beyond anything I have imagined. We are both a part of each other's lifelines, and I could never imagine leaving him vulnerable to the world without my love and affection. Being sad was all I knew from a very young age, numb and sad with walls up. When I examined it from a different perspective as I got older and realized how I self-created all the outcomes by my own actions or inactions, and I was amazed at how much power we all hold. It is up to you to make a decision on being sad or miserable for how long, and up to you to take control of your happiness and shift your mind in spite of life's curveballs. I still feel at times I need to fully exhale. However, as more time passes, I do breathe easier after every experience and after every lesson learned. I don't hold it in as much. It being anything that has held me back, down, numb, and not in control. There isn't a day that goes by that I do not think of what happened or think of him or try to grasp the fading memories that seem so far away in the past. At the time, I held his death like a candle. I never burned it out and obsessed about it, and it consumed my mind for years. Why did this happen to me? Why me? And again, why me? There were a lot of why me's growing up. That was the hardest thing that ever happened to me. The aftermath of that single event had drastically changed my life. Initially, it was not for the better, and it created in me a need to protect myself against ever feeling the pain of letting go of someone I love that much. It has been a double-edged sword. I found myself in tremendous fear of having what I want and losing it. It has been a very long journey for me. I've struggled to let go of the belief that if I have someone in my life who I love so completely, they will leave. My commitment to not feel that pain ever again has been a huge hurdle for me. I think if you experience that sort of pain at a very young age, you have no choice but to grow up, really grow up, deal with it, and use your energy to channel good in your life. You never want to feel that ever again. It is about destiny, your destiny, creating yours and leaving a legacy others can be proud of, in spite of anything you feel can be holding you down. I have been through my share of difficulty since then. However, I have learned today to deal with tragedies a little differently, and I learned to let go a little more and know that you have to if you want to keep moving forward for a fulfilling life. I don't look backwards so much anymore. I have made mistakes later in my life as an adult, including tolerating abuse from former boyfriends because I felt I could handle it, almost felt comfortable in it, the pain, and somehow it felt normal to me. I fit in that space, the numbing mind space, until I couldn't pretend anymore. I also know that you have to give yourself enough time in a normal situation to know the difference. I remember growing up as a little girl just wanting to be happy, as in the John Lennon quote in the beginning of this chapter, just happy. The magic of life gives us new beginnings and new hopes, new dreams, new outlooks, and new loves. We can choose to see things differently as we used to, and that's okay too. You're allowed to change your mind about how you feel about certain things. It still makes what happened real and doesn't take away what you felt and went through. And just sometimes it's okay for the candle to blow out. People need to rest in peace.